Judge, this is the case, Mr. Wilson.
Okay, thank you. You all may be seated. Mr. Wilson, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here today to request that the court reduce my child support that I currently pay my ex-wife. Currently, I pay $800 a month, but up until last year, I worked for the city, and now I'm currently self-employed, and I make considerably less money. So I was requesting that my child support be lowered to reflect that.
Before we go any further, where's Mrs. White?
I don't know.
You sent her notice that she was supposed to be here today, right?
Yes, she was served.
Okay. So, I guess she didn't understand how serious this was today. All right. So you said that you used to work for the city.
Yes.
And now you're self-employed.
Yes, I am.
And what do you do self-employed?
The video starts with Judge Thunderbeat calling the court to order. Mr. Wilson is asking to lower his child support because he left a city job to start a tow truck business. And his income has dropped. But there's a twist. Mrs. White isn't there. She was notified but didn't show up. With tension in the air, will the judge approve Mr. Wilson's request, or will Mrs. White's absence cause problems? Let's find out.
I own a tow truck business company.
Okay. Are you making more money or less money now?
I'm making less money. I have a lot more expenses being self-employed, but I make less money.
All right, all right. So based on what you provided to the court, you have some receipts
Yes, I do.
showing what you pay and what daycare expenses. I also see a 1099 here that you have from workers. You have what, 2 employees?
Yes.
Then I'm also seeing a tax return here. Based on this tax return, I have your earnings. It has gone down. It has gone down. I have you at about $3,700 now.
Yes, that's about right. I make about $47,000 a year.
All right. So you say you pay $200 a month in health insurance
For him, yes.
and this is for him only, full coverage for only him, not you and him.
Yeah, it's about, with both of us, it's about $450.
Okay. Just want to make sure because you don't get any credit for yourself. It's only credit for health insurance for your son. You understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Wilson explains that his income has dropped. He used to have a steady city job, but now he earns less as a self-employed tow truck operator. He's asking the court to lower his child support from $800 to a more affordable amount. To prove it, he brought receipts, tax returns, and a 1099 form. But here's the twist. Mrs. White isn't there to argue against him. Will this be an easy win for Mr. Wilson, or will the judge take a closer look at his finances? The courtroom is silent, but the stakes are high.
So based on that, I have your net and giving you credit for the $200 that you pay in health insurance for your son. Comes out to about $2,834.23, which would bring your new child support amount to $566.85. Okay?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson, I do appreciate you being here today and being timely. Thank you. I didn't want you to think that just because Mrs. White decided not to show up today for court, that the court could not move forward. Because in Texas courts, once you are served your own notice with a hearing, you have to appear. And if you do not appear, the other side who's bringing the case does still have the opportunity to ask the court for some sort of relief. So you're here today asking for your child support to be reduced. You submitted evidence to support your stance.
Judge Thunderbeat takes a careful look at Mr. Wilson's documents, including tax returns and health insurance payments for his son. She confirms that his income has dropped to about $37,000 a year. After reviewing his expenses, she adjusts his child support to $566.85 per month. She also clarifies that Mr. Wilson only gets credit for the $2 he pays for his son's health insurance, not his own. This case is a great example of how courts handle child support changes, with the judge making sure everything is fair and accurate.
You had the opportunity to be here and contest whatever it was that you submitted in court, your 1099s, your tax return, even some of the receipts that you provided. But it was a missed opportunity for her because she decided not to come to court. So in the future, whenever you need to come back to court, maybe to change your order, life change or something like that, just make sure that you always send notice to that other person, because you are able to still receive some sort of relief although they fail to show up. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything further?
No.
Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. You are
The judge officially reduces Mr. Wilson's child support to $566.85 per month. But she doesn't stop there. She takes a moment to explain an important legal rule. If you're served notice for a court hearing and don't show up, the case can still move forward without you. Even though Mrs. White was absent, the judge reviewed the evidence and made a decision. She also reminds Mr. Wilson to always send proper notice in the future, even if the other party doesn't attend. A valuable lesson for anyone dealing with the legal system.
Vonda Bailey, and I'm coming to you as the lawyer this time. We have arrived at the educational portion of our show. I just wanted to go over what this segment would cover and how the different scenarios interact with child support under Texas law. I was served to be at a hearing for child support court, but I failed to show up. What happens in that case? Well, let me explain to you what happens in support court with Judge Vonda B. You will receive what's called a default judgment. That's right. As well as in many courts in Texas, if you do not appear after you have been served with the notice of a hearing, you will be defaulted by the court. What does default mean? Default means that whatever the relief that the person who brought the lawsuit was requesting, the court has the discretion to give them that very relief. Now, you do still have to put on your testimony. You still have to provide evidence to the court. The court just won't take your word for it and say, okay, you need a reduction in child support, I'm just going to reduce it. That's not the case. You still are required to put on your evidence. So just keep in mind that although you do not show up for court, the court can still move forward on a case.
The video switches to an educational segment with lawyer Vonda Bailey, who explains what happens if you miss a court hearing. She says that in Texas, if someone doesn't show up after being officially notified, the court can issue a default judgment, meaning the case may be decided in favor of the person who did attend. However, she makes it clear that showing up isn't enough to win. The person must still prove their case with evidence. This segment gives helpful advice for anyone in a similar situation. The video ends with a call to action, encouraging viewers to subscribe and share their experiences. A reminder that court cases aren't just about legal fights, but about fairness, responsibility, and family well-being.